Whether you're here for more Apple content or actually interested in the M3 MacBook Air, you'll quickly learn after a couple of YouTube videos the internet is more focused on what this device can't do versus the incredible technology that's packed into it thanks to Apple Silicon, and yes, even the base models. I also love and obsess over tech, but I'll be approaching this review with a beginner-ish mindset, assuming you don't know very much about the MacBook Air lineup. But I'll go ahead and leave timestamps down below the like button so you can find the parts that you're most interested in. But first, if we're new to another, my name is Jamie, and on the channel I like to talk about tech, lifestyle, and all sorts of solutions. And the M series chips have certainly solved a lot of tech problems, and they're nearly perfect machines. This particular laptop is the M3 MacBook Air 15-inch in the midnight blue. It's also available in 13 inches, which I personally prefer, and other colorways such as space gray, silver, as well as starlight. I did get to check out this midnight color this past summer, and for all intents and purposes, it's absolutely identical to the one that came out then, and even 2 years ago with the new M2 MacBook Air, except that this one does go through a new anodization process that helps reduces the smudges on the lid as well as the bottom due to the natural oils of our fingertips. But aside from smudges, you should be happy with any purchase that you've made over the last couple of years, as long as it's an M series MacBook, because these are incredible devices. All right, but let's go ahead and unbox. And any Apple experience, any Apple unboxing, it's going to be a super clean and minimal setup. So you have the cover art that you've been looking at there. There is no plastic wrap, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and just detach these pull tabs. And okay, we'll just give it the whole shimmy test, which is always very smooth and nice. Your MacBook will be protected in this waxy-ish style paper. We'll actually set this off to the side. Usual suspects in the box. Again, if it is new to you, you do get a user's manual, which just informs you that it was proudly designed in Apple in California. You'll get color matching Apple stickers, and this paper of these Apple stickers have gotten very rugged over the last couple of years, so that is nice there. You do get a braided color matching MagSafe cable. So MagSafe is just a magnetic charging, so if someone trips or anything like that, it'll detach and not take your laptop with you. This is the Air. I did kind of test it like shimming, and it does detach a little easier, but it is a very light device. And then at the bottom here, it is USB-C, which does work with your included USB-C charging brick. Couple options for your charging brick. You have this dual charger here, which is 35 watts. I believe for the 13-inch MacBook Air, it'll just be a 30-watt single port charger, or you could always opt for fast charger, which is 70 watts. So I do like these dual watts because if you're traveling, it's very handy. You can charge your iPhone as well as your MacBook at the same time. Let's go ahead and open this fella up. Again, very nice crinkly sound, so satisfying, and very gorgeous, gorgeous blue color. Look at that. It's always hard to capture this color because it changes depending on the lighting, and there's studio lighting all around the studio, but it is very nice. And yeah, there is some fingerprints already, but it's okay. It still looks gorgeous, and we'll go ahead and woo! There's no better feeling than opening up a brand new MacBook. And now that I got this gorgeous device unboxed, I'll go ahead and set it up, and we can start to check out what it's actually capable of. So this is not an app. One of the first apps I do always install on any Mac is Setapp. And that's because Setapp is like an app store with normally paid for apps all under one subscription. Just like Clean My Mac that keeps your old or new Mac running like new. This is essential if you only have 256 gigabytes of storage. That plus many more, like Nitro PDF if you do need a PDF editor. An Adobe Acrobat subscription is double the cost of Setapp, and that is just for one app. And the Setapp catalog is always growing as they integrate new AI apps. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below to a free trial if you do want to check out their app store. It's always growing and integrates perfectly with any Mac. I should probably do a whole video dedicated to Setapp. And now the main change in this M3 MacBook Air, if you are looking at the other MacBook Airs, is going to be the introduction of the M3 chip. And it still has a super thin, modern, and lightweight form factor that was introduced just a couple years ago. And like I mentioned earlier, the 15-inch actually just came out this past summer, so less than a year, and it already has a refresh. But aside from the new M3 chip processor, it now has support for the Wi-Fi 6E, if you even have that, but it also now has support for 2 external displays. Unfortunately, you do need to have the lid closed, so you'll need to have a separate mouse and keyboard. I wish there was a setting where you could just turn off the internal built-in display and just work off of the 2 external displays and still have advantage of using the keyboard as well as the trackpad. but unfortunately that's not an option. And as for ports, you have two Thunderbolt 4 ports on the left accompanying the MagSafe port, and only a headphone jack on the right side. If you are an iPhone creator, you'll find AirDrop to be super quick and convenient to just AirDrop your footage. So unfortunately, no SD card slot, but personally, I always carry around a dongle anyway because I find the ones on the Pros to just be unreliable. The M3 MacBook Air's hardware and configurations are the same as the M2, starting out with 8 GB of unified memory and 256 GB of internal storage. And you can max that out all the way to 24 GB of unified memory and 2 TB of internal storage. Now, I don't recommend you go for that model, but it's an option if you want it. It's important to note that the M2 13-inch is still available, but if you do have your heart set on the 15-inch, it's only available in the M3 version, unless of course you do buy from a third-party seller, which you can find really great deals that way. Walmart's actually now selling the M1 MacBook Air with that wedge design for only $699, and that's a steal. And aside from hardware, the macOS Sonoma really drives the experience, and this new 3nm chip makes everything you do on your Mac just a smooth experience. I've loved the new login screens where you can use your password, you can unlock with your Apple Watch, or even just use the iconic Touch ID. I love using wallpapers of my dog Cupertino, but these past few months I've been taking advantage of these new landscape wallpapers. They do take up a chunk of memory on your computer, so choose which ones you want to download wisely. And the animated transition from your lock screen to your actual desktop is done in a way that only Apple could do. And now the most recent Macs come with the same high-definition 1080p webcam that has some additional built-in features thanks to macOS Sonoma that works well on Teams as well as Zoom. So when you're on a video call, there's no longer a need to interrupt the presenter. You can just give them a thumbs up, thumbs down when they say we should come back into the office, or you can even love a comment with a heart. And all of this was being recorded with the built-in microphones that do a really great job of cutting out any background noise. And another thing I've been loving about macOS Sonoma are the widgets on the desktop. Originally, I didn't think I'd want anything on my wallpaper. I don't usually even keep documents or files there, but having the weather, stocks, and news handy is really underrated. But it does have a 6-speaker sound system that sounds wild considering the thinness and the lack of grills, where the 13-inch MacBook Air only has 4. That's also great in my opinion and plenty for me. And a quick glance at the colors, I'm totally team silver, but this midnight is stunning, and even the starlight has started to grow on me. I just really wish that the Pros had some of these color options. For my gamers, I do too love playing video games, but admittedly, never really on a Mac, as I'm more of a console gamer. I really do like PlayStation and Nintendo Switch exclusives, but I've been recently playing Resident Evil Village on the Mac ever since it's dropped, and I gotta say, it's a really great experience, and it's actually been keeping me up at night. But macOS Sonoma helps prioritize the GPU performance and in game mode whenever you are playing in a full screen, making it a really buttery smooth experience. But I gotta say, that game really scares the crap out of me. I was playing on my iPad on a plane, and I don't think either one of my neighbors to the side of me appreciated that. But I really like the fact that I get to take games that I play on a Mac on the go, whether it's my iPhone or even the iPad. So in summary, if you're not out of internal storage, already on Apple Silicon, current MacBook isn't damaged or broken, and you're happy with your experience, I think you're good. Don't have that FOMO of needing to upgrade, because I think we're gonna be good for many years to come. But if you're looking to get your first Mac, and Intel Macs aren't Macs anymore at this point in my opinion, I think the MacBook Airs will be a really great introductory experience. You're gonna be blown away by their performance. Go ahead and drop your favorite colorway down below in the comments, and while you're down there, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and until next time, I'll see ya.